You're in the place where mysteries and the missing meet, where conspiracies lurk around every corner. Welcome to the Deep, Dark Truth.
Welcome back to the Deep, Dark Truth. I'm Mo.
I'm Chip.
And I'm Mikey.
And today we're going to be talking about various internet rabbit holes that I've fallen down that never became full episodes.
I've got a couple too.
Ooh.
And one of these, during the course of this, became its own full episode. So,
Ooh.
Today I'm going to be talking about Cicada 3301. On January 4th, 2012, a mysterious image was posted to 4chan. Soon it would be one of the most frequently discussed internet mysteries. The image was simply a block of white text on a black screen. It read, "Hello, we are looking for highly intelligent individuals. To find them, we have devised a test. There is a message hidden in this image. Find it, and it will lead you on the road to us. We look forward to meeting the few that will make it all the way through. Good luck, 3301.
The intelligent people did not engage with this, so they failed the test already.
When the image was decrypted, it took you to an imager link, and that imager link, it was a picture of a duck, and it said, "Whoops, just decoys this way. Looks like you can't guess how to get the message out." But if you were to take the words guess and out using a sonography tool called Outguess, you got a different message, and so on and so forth. It then directed you to a Reddit forum, and naturally, it took off on Reddit. And as Reddit is the living room of the internet, Tales of the Cipher made its way into mainstream internet culture. Everyone wanted to know how to solve the mysterious puzzles, but in order to reach the next puzzle, you had to solve the previous ones. In no particular order, the rest of the puzzles contained book ciphers, QR codes that were posted all over the world, mysterious answering machines, and trips to the dark web. I do want to take a second, though, and post one of the examples, which is this answering machine message, which you can hear right now.
Very good. You have done well. There are 3 prime numbers associated with the original final .jpeg image. 3301 is one of them. You will have to find the other 2. Multiply all 3 of these numbers together and add a .com on the end to find the next step. Good luck. Goodbye.
There's also, like I said, QR codes that were posted on telephone poles in various places found in many major cities throughout the world, showing that this puzzle had at least global connections, whoever was associated with it. There was also web pages using the Tor browser. But who was 3301? A hacktivist group like Anonymous? A cult, a secret society, or maybe they didn't really exist at all, and the puzzle was simply a recruitment tool for a 3-letter agency, the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, LSD, whatever. Those who solved the first set of puzzles in 2012 leaked the alleged email they sent when they reached the end. This is now a direct from Wikipedia quote. The first puzzle was solved by Marcus Wanner. According to him, those who solved the puzzles were asked questions about their support of information freedom, online privacy and freedom, and rejection of censorship. Those who answered satisfactorily at this stage were invited to a private forum where they were instructed to devise and complete a project intended to further the ideals of the group. He did not finish his work on a method of general decryption, and the website was then later removed, which is the case for a lot of these puzzles. In fact, at the end, the original image was then replaced and said simply, again, a black image with white text, "Hello, we have found the individuals we sought. This is our month-long journey ends. For now, thank you for your dedication and effort. If you are unable to complete the test or did not receive an email, do not despair. There will be opportunities like this one. Thank you all. 3301. It also says PS and has a long bout of numbers then backslash, long bout of numbers, backslash, long bout of numbers.
Classic.
Indicating that there's at least 3 different words or sentences or messages within it. Allegedly, the original email was then leaked. 3301 Cicada. This has been modified from your original text in order to remove your uber secret identification signature. If you think it belongs to any particular applicant, it does not. And you do know what I mean. I'm guessing this is the leaker put this through some type of encryption code so that they wouldn't be immediately outed as the one that leaked the email. Do not share this information. Congratulations. Your month of testing has come to an end. Out of the thousands who attempted it, you are one of the only few who have succeeded. There is one last step, although there will not be any hidden codes or secret messages or physical treasure hunts. This last step is only honesty. We have always been honest with you, and we shall continue to be honest with you, and we expect you to be honest with us in return. You have all wondered who we are, and so we shall now tell you. We are an international group. We have no name. We have no symbol. We have no membership rosters. We do not have a public website, and we do not advertise ourselves. We are a group of individuals who have proven ourselves much like you have by completing this recruitment contest, and we are drawn together by common beliefs. A careful reading of the text used in this contest would have revealed some of those beliefs. That tyranny and oppression of any kind must end, that censorship is wrong, and that privacy is an unalienable right. We are not a hacker group. We are not a Juarez group. We do not engage in illegal activity, nor do our numbers. If you are engaged in illegal activity, we ask that you cease any and all illegal activities or decline membership. At this time, we will not ask questions if you decline. However, if you lie to us, we will find out. You are undoubtedly wondering what it is that we do. We are much like a think tank, in that our primary focus is on researching and developing techniques to aid the ideas we advocate: liberty, privacy, security. You have undoubtedly heard of a few of our past projects, and if you choose to accept membership, we are happy to have you on board to help with future projects. Please reply to this email with the answers to the next few questions to continue. Do you believe that every human being has a right to privacy and anonymity, and it is within their rights to use tools which help obtain and maintain privacy? Cache-strong encryption, anonymity software, etc. Do you believe that information should be free? Do you believe that censorship harms humanity? We look forward to hearing from you. 3301. The cicada in Cicada 3301 comes from the imagery associated with some of the puzzles of, you guessed it, a cicada.
Plot twist. Is it like a metaphor because they sleep for 7 years or whatever and then they strike?
That would be really cool, but I do not think so. So, because we did do puzzles for several years, the last public and verified communications from Cicada 3301 was in April of 2017. Oftentimes, those communications have been verifying that they weren't associated with some sort of hacking that happened or some sort of something that was bad.
We're not QAnon.
Yeah, people speculating, are they a terrorist cell? Things like that. And only have they actually commented and released statements if news organizations picked up those things, if that makes sense.
Real news, not Reddit.
Yeah, not just like online speculation, but like, hey, now ABC News is speculating that we're hackers, that we're not hackers. So the original message was posted to 4chan, but it was posted to 4chan's paranormal board. So I'm personally of the opinion that we were like witnessing the creation of a creepypasta or some type of like alternate reality game, a purposeful splash to the internet, if that makes sense. So like the puzzles were real and there was involvement obviously from people all over the world because the QR codes popped up all over the world. But I really think that it was like an intentional conspiracy versus what they say it is, if that makes sense.
Like viral marketing, but not, it didn't actually come to fruition as marketing.
Yeah. Like, I could just see us doing it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I could just see us being like, we're going to do this. But we also, that's the thing that I don't understand about the motivation. We would use it as a tipping off point. Like, the last clue would be the QR code, and it just, like, goes to our Spotify. You know what I mean? Like, we would use it for something. Even if it sends somebody to a petition, I would understand. But the end goal is so unclear. While it seems like they don't believe in censorship and this and that, but they're not a hacktivist group. Like, they say they're not a hacktivist group. What's the point if you're not actively working towards specific goals to reaching those goals versus like, oh, I just don't like this. We don't like censorship. Okay, well, then you're recruiting people to do something about it, right? But it seems like that we recruited you to do something about it part never happened.
Where's the call to action?
Exactly. Where's the call to action? If you're watching us on YouTube right now, we need you to smash that like button.
Thumbs up, and don't forget to ring that bell.
Subscribe!
But it's like it's raising awareness type of, we're not actually asking you to do anything, but just raising awareness is itself a thing.
But I feel like the raising awareness part didn't come until the very end, and I also feel like that's not the part that people focus on. And so you have to realize people aren't going to focus on that part when it seems like you're recruiting for a secret society, right? You have to realize that your message will be completely lost in the puzzles.
What they claim is their goal, then they were successful.
We don't know how many people recruited. Maybe everyone answered, no, I don't believe in freedom.
How many people in the world with the conspiracy and around this and around the QR codes and around everything and around all that were thinking about that now? Like, their two main points that they wanted humanity to think about.
And see, and that's what I'm saying. I think that maybe that was their message, but I just don't see how I couldn't see that message would be lost, because while we're bringing up the fact that's what their end goal was, that's not the intriguing thing about it, and it's not the thing that if you're telling somebody quickly,
sure,
what is Cicada 3301, you probably never even mention that, right?
Yeah,
you say, oh, it was this series of
right.
puzzles. It started on the internet. Everyone was trying to figure it out. It was crazy. There was all these different parts to it, and you had to, like, solve one to get to the next one. But at no point are you like, yeah, they were probably recruiting to, like, stop censorship. I don't know.
Yeah.
Their heart was in the right place, I guess.
But if we did it and we didn't have, the Spotify link, it would just be because we want to be extra.
The real excitement around it was having this massive conspiracy that wasn't planned until it was just said that it was just a message and this is who we are and this is what we want to promote. So, like, I kind of disagree that from hearing it from my perspective, I didn't even know about this at all. I'm more intrigued by their message, and it has got me thinking about it, and that's the thing that I would remember most about this.
I'm surprised I didn't know about this or knew it and forgot it.
Yeah.
You probably knew it and forgot it.
Probably. You know who knew about it and didn't forget it? Hank Green. This is a second book of his. Like, some of it sounds like it could have been a quote from the book. I'm sitting here like, oh, so he just lifted this straight up from Cicada. Got it.
How long did these games, trials, things go on for?
The first puzzle started on January 4th, 2012, and it was about a month long. And then the second, the next year on its anniversary, January 4th, 2013. And then there was another round on January 4th, 2014. But that third puzzle, nobody ever solved it all the way through. There wasn't one posted on January 4th, 2015, but the following year, since the previous 2014 puzzle was not ever completed, there was a clue that was posted in 2016 about the 2014 puzzle.
Okay. So, are we
Gotcha.
are we saying that the people who solved 2012 got an email and then a new puzzle came up entirely, or were they all the same line?
First puzzle, January of 2012. It lasts 1 month. The people get the emails that they have, made it all the way through.
Okay.
Then there's a second round the following year in 2013.
So they're distinctly separate.
So they're distinctively separate.
Was it?
It does not appear that it was still ever solved. But then again, someone could have solved it and kept their mouth shut.
As they should.
There might just not be any leaks.
Yeah.
There is a website, though, that'll be at the top of our sources that walks you through the first set of puzzles in great detail if you'd like to learn more about them. Also even tells you how exactly to solve them, whether it's various websites or various cryptography sites to use, etc., etc.
Just kind of bookmark that for D&D puzzle ideas. Okay, got it.
What hell? You're like, all right, there's a QR code that is in Switzerland.
Send us the puzzles. Send us the third puzzle, and we will solve it.
Oh, okay.
So send it to us.
Make none of those same promises whatsoever.
We will solve. Chip and I will solve it.
See, the thing is, it's not even that I don't think that people are capable of it. I think that just the kind of people that hyperfixate, like, to me, deciphering binary just sounds miserable. Like, that doesn't sound like a good time.
Well, binary.
Like, a lot of it just doesn't...
Just throw it in a translator.
Well, yeah, like a lot of places, you just throw it in a translator. But a lot of, like, the only thing that I would have super been interested in, but this is just specific to me, is the part of the first set of puzzles. There was a book cipher. It led to this original text by Thomas Bulfinch that was all tales about King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, and very specifically the Holy Grail. This puzzle is nicknamed the Holy Grail because of this specific passage that it's taken, and then it just forms a whole new separate, like...
Here's a sentence. That's
fun. Like, going page to page, and there is a genre of experimental fiction. There's this book, S, by Doug Dorston, J.J. Abrams, and there's another book called House of Leaves, and those books are similar. Like, very specifically with House of Leaves, some pages are meant to be read out of order, or upside down, or there's different hidden codes within the book. That I find fun. The rest of it, I don't find.
If it's just like,
this
is busy work, essentially, I have to just sit here and go through.
I think it's very much like the solving the mystery aspect is what pushes a lot of people, but there is a lot of code and sourcing involved, and if you don't know where to look, then you're just Googling to try and figure out what you should even be using to unencrypt something or decipher something, and that's just not fun.
Right, this is where Chip comes in.
Google Foo Master.
Mikey is putting you to work.
I'm the intern.
Do you guys have any theories? Just based on what you know. Obviously, not getting too crazy deep into it, but based on what you've heard.
Clearly, it's someone just fucking with everyone. It's just us in a different timeline. It's fun to make people go on a red herring. Nope.
Mikey, what about you?
I think the opposite.
Meaning?
I think it exists. I think what they say is true. I think they're just a think tank that creates change, but secretly.
I want that to be true if I agree with their ideals, but I don't believe in optimism, so...
I want to believe in a secret society.
I also want that to be true. I know that there has to be some type of international involvement, so it's not that I doubt it being true. I don't understand if that's their purpose, why they thought that would be what most people got from the puzzles.
Well, supposedly their thing, they don't care what the general public knows, if we're going by what they say. It's to find people who are helpful to them.
Well, that's true.
I think they're just trying to find diligent, like good moral people who are hardworking, diligent, determined, smart.
It's just that this test, it shows that someone is stubborn and will solve a puzzle. It does not have anything to do with morality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
To me, the puzzles and, like, the mystery of it.
Yeah, but then coupled with the honesty aspect of it and, like, probably the reason they chose them in the first place.
If it's a call out to the whole internet the kind of people that it attracts are going to be people that want to solve the mystery, not necessarily people that it's their dying passion. Like, for example, I can say, yes, I believe censorship is bad, and I agree with these ideals, but that also doesn't mean that I want to make that specifically my cause that I'm doing a think tank for.
That's not necessarily my priority, even if I think.
Right.
And also, you could just lie. It's an email that says, just say yes. I do like the, if you do illegal activity, please cease all illegal activity. This was my favorite part of the whole thing.
I love it.
They want to make it very clear that they are not endorsing any kind of illegal activity, and like, if you came here because you wanted to be a hacktivist or this or that, they want to make it clear that this isn't the place for you. I do think the messaging...
Right, because going back, it's a way to weed out people that may be immoral or cheat or take the easy way out, and that's not the type of people that they're trying to collect.
Yeah, but it just seems like that you would say that at the beginning. I'm not doubting what they did, but the order in which they did it. If they would have said it at the beginning, we're a think tank, or even like the second puzzle, we're a think tank, this is our mission, we want to make sure that you agree with these ideals. Saying somebody has already done all this labor of doing this before they find out what the mission is. And I think they would have attracted more like-minded people if they told those people, like, hey, do you hate these things too? Do you like these things too? Do you want to make change? We're looking for people that are highly intelligent, blah, 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 and included that in that statement.
Sure, but there's a margin of error that you might not get interested because you come out the gate with, It
sets a completely different tone, though, if you do it that way. And it's, if you're like, hey, come join our liberal think tank, here's some puzzles, does not come off the same as, here are some puzzles.
That's true. I just feel like there was a better time in the process than right at the end.
Yeah.
Most of those people might just be like, yeah, I was just here for the puzzles. Thanks, man. You know what I mean? You don't want that to be...
And that's fine. Maybe they're not looking for numbers, though.
That's true. Maybe they're just looking for, like, the dedication.
Yeah. They're testing. It's one big giant test. But it is weird to lay all the eggs in the basket at the end and really only test them on, like, what? I mean, your ability to solve puzzles, determination and intelligence, maybe, and perseverance, that's about
creative
it, right?
thinking.
Yeah, and I feel like there's other ways to be intelligent and bring things to the table that have nothing to do with puzzles either.
There is this thing about if you do small asks, and the more a person has said yes to your little ask, the bigger the thing they'll go to. A bit of a sunk cost fallacy. So once they've gotten to the email, you've sort of got them in a way, simply because they did this whole fucking thing, and they're like, I solved my fucking puzzle.
They're invested, yeah.
They're invested at this point, yeah.
So, Mikey, as our resident boomer, do you know that everything has become crab?
Crab?
Everything become crab. No? You're not familiar?
No.
Well, as the internet will tell you, everything in the world is becoming crab. The one true evolution of nature is that crabs just keep evolving. It's a good shape. So I was like, I wonder why that is. And the answer is, it's not that interesting.
It's not that interesting, but let me tell you about it.
So what you're basically saying is that crabs are, like, evolving more so than most of the species on this planet all the time. Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's been 5 instances entirely separate from each other where the crab shape, the crabness, has evolved. And that's interesting.
I see what you're saying. More species are starting to evolve towards the crab shape. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I would prefer to be a lobster. They're immortal. But that's just me.
Yeah, what's that about?
What's the deal? I haven't looked into that.
That should be your next internet rabbit hole, Mikey. We've contributed.
It's so bizarre.
I would very much like to be immortal.
I mean, the answer's got to be within them, right?
It depends so much on the rules of the immortality. And
where's the fountain of youth? Well, it's obviously in the lobsters. Have we looked?
And also the jellyfish. There's a jellyfish.
Yeah, that's true.
If you bred a lobster with a jellyfish.
Things are becoming more crab-like, period. Why?
Well, first, what is crab? What are we calling when we say something evolved to be crabbly? It's a relatively flat, roundish body shape. There's the flattening and bending of the pleon, which is the abdomen type thingy of the lobster tailish type thing. So there's that. There's the lack of a significant tail, and then the, certain things the sternites have fused into at least partially a single sort of sternum type thing going on. That one's complicated. Don't ask me to explain it in detail.
Meaning instead of having two rib cages, it's kind of becoming one type thing?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Something like that. Similar to that. You have sort of the reduction of certain muscles, specifically the ones in the legs that do the forward and backward, not the side to side.
Got it.
The reason we think this is interesting is because there were 5 instances of entirely unrelated crustaceans that move towards this, and it's interesting because they're in vastly different environments as far as the ocean is concerned. These ones live on a volcano, an underwater volcano, and these ones live on the coast. What do you mean they both became crab? That's weird.
To me, ending up in a flatter shell shape makes sense because of how heavy the ocean it actually is when you're on the bottom of it. And so to me, it makes sense that they would become flatter in the same way that stingrays became flatter.
But also, my biggest thing is protection, probably. Because basically, creating a back shape, an exoskeleton, and flattening the surface can protect your internal ones underneath instead of being exposed outward. So that they're coming in and their internal organs that need protecting are underneath their biggest surface. You know what I mean?
And they would keep their legs and not swim for that exact same reason, because then their belly is never exposed to anything except for the ocean floor.
Those are basically some decent guesses as to, biologists aren't certain why this happened, but here are some hypotheses. Having the pleon bent in under you is less surface area for a predator to grab. No lobster tail grabbing. You have a lower center of gravity. That's probably helpful. There's lots of gravity down there.
Defensively, it's really good.
All of them? I guess all of them hold their eggs with the curved under pleon, and so if that's underneath you, that's a lot easier to protect. For the ones that do have the side-to-side movement, running side-to-side when all your predators expect you to run forward and backward, that helps. Them. It's confusing them. And maybe the flatter, rounder body is better for, hiding in crevices or under rocks or shit like that.
Or looking like a rock.
Yeah. So why isn't this a full episode? Because it's not that interesting. It's just that
you went down a rabbit hole and ended up with a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that happens with rabbit holes. Sometimes you think it's going to be a very interesting...
I prefer those because the 3-day rabbit holes aren't fun.
Yeah, the 3-day rabbit holes are a lot.
Right. I want an answer, but I don't want a boring answer. These were only crustaceans who evolved into it. There's no not even crustacean that's evolved crabbly. There's a lot of species, more than 5, I think, that evolved away from crab. They're like, we're done with being crab. And it's just a specific example of convergent evolution, and there are lots of those. For example, a really interesting one, there are animals that can sleep with half their brain while the other half is awake. It's called unihemispheric slow wave sleep, and it evolved separately in migratory birds like thrushes, dolphins, whales, manatees, and seals.
Yeah.
I think I maybe knew that about thrushes. Feels like a Brennan Lee Mulligan bird fact.
Not everything become crab. It's boring. Convergent evolution. It's interesting in general.
Those are internet rabbit holes I've fallen down. If you want to suggest some that you think we should check out, you can send them to the deepdarktruthpodcast@gmail.com or text them to the tip line at 313-355-3411. Until next time, I'm Mo.
I'm Chip.
And I'm Mikey. Beep-a-deep-a-deep-a-deep. That's all, folks.
You just listened to the Deep Dark Truth Podcast. See you next time. And remember, your local cryptids want to meet you.